Good everyone. I hope you guys have an amazing day. So in the last episode, right, I talked about code templates and how you can create your own code template, which is fine. I mean, right, it does the job, but that's pretty basic, right? I mean, let's say you wanted to customize it according to your own requirement instead of just sticking to the basic template option, then you might have to look for a different solution, and which is pretty out of box when it comes to CPQ, right? There's something called template content. So we're going to look at that today. And what I'll do, I will try to create a customized template. Um, Unfortunately, I don't have a good eye for design, so just bear with me. And my apologies if the template looks yucky, right? But that being said, it will that being said, right, I will try to explain you the concept, and based on the requirement, you can build a fancy looking template, right? Okay. So the first thing first, you need to have an org. I presume we are pretty much 70% of this course. You should be having an org at this stage with the CPQ package installed. If not, and if you're preparing for CPQ certification, then I'm afraid that it's not going to be easy ride because you should be doing hands-on and you should be playing around with the work to see the things which you can do and things which you can't do. Okay, all right. So what I'll do, I will go to I'll just this specific app. Okay, and there's something called template template content. So what I'll do, I'll create a header, I'll create a footer, and I'll create the line items, right? And we're gonna use only three to display our code. Okay. So the first thing first, I will say I'll create new, right? By going to template content. And you see, we got all these options here. You can do custom HTML if you like. You can build your header, template codes, and everything using a single HTML. But I'm not gonna do that. It just I mean, you can do that, right? I mean, if you're very much uh, into this kind of stuff, you can do that. But I'll just make my life easier. I'm just gonna do the template top, which I will say header, and I will say uh, yeah, font family. Perhaps I will use this one, right? And font size, I'll just keep it to 13, right? Text color, if you don't specify it, it will um, display as a black, right? But it's a hex code, right? You can specify whatever color you want. But for now, what I'll do, I will keep it as black, right? And I'll keep all this option as such. If you want, you can change it here, right? It gives you a template which you can fiddle with, right? If you wanted to add more features, if you don't want to add more features, that's up to you. But for now, I'm just pretty happy with the existing out of box, right? Um, I'll do save, okay? And now what I'll do, I will go back to the template content again. And so we have a header now. Now we need to have the body, right? Which is your code line. So I'll do new. I will do the line items, right? And I will say line items. Yeah, whatever. Font family, I'll keep the same. The text color, what I'll do, I will use it as a red. Okay, just to differentiate. I know it's not a great color, um, but that being said, right, I'm pretty happy with it. Okay, and I'll see the font size as 10. Okay, or say 12, and I'll say right. So now we got header. Now we got a line items. Now what we are after is the footer, right? So let me create a footer. Um, so I'll do that's the template bottom. So you choose this option. I mean, you just say footer, okay, font family, the same. I'm not concerned with the text color. I'll just keep it as black, and I'll say 12. And as you can see, that it will give you, the basic template to fill with it. If you wanted to change it, you can change it. And the signature, I'll just say Dave. Okay. Date, I don't care for now. The title, I'll just say the sales agent, right? You can fill it, you can customize it. You see, you got a lot of options here, right? At the top, you can, if you wanted to look at the source, you can look at the source, right? And you can fiddle with it. If you're very well versed with HTML, right? You can just copy this to a Visual Studio Code, um, and then fiddle with it. Okay, so I'm just showing you the simplest way you can customize it. I do understand that if you're an admin, if you're not comfortable with HTML, you might say, oh, it looks a bit trickier. But that being said, right, uh, that's one of the reasons why Salesforce is giving you just pretty much out of box template. I mean, if you don't want to use it, you might as well use the basic template which comes out of box. But for most of the businesses, that may not fit the requirement, so you might have to customize it, and you might have a developer in your team. I was pretty confident with HTML. You just hand the stuff to them, or you might have a designer, graphic designer has a pretty good eye for design. Um, you can hand this stuff to them. They will sort this stuff for you, right? Okay, excuse me. Save and the template content. Right. So we got header, we got footer, we got line items. Right now, if you remember in the last episode, I talked about how to create a template. Right. So I built a new code template. If you go to code templates, right? So we have this new template, which is fantastic, right? It will do the job. Okay, so let me show you how it looks like at this stage. So I go to codes, okay, and I will go to this one, and I will say generate document, and I will choose this template. So if you don't have multiple template, it will point to the default one, right? So I mean, you can make this as a default. That's up to you, but um, yeah, I'm not going to do that at this stage. So this is a new template which I built last time, and you can see that it looks something like this, right? Now, I don't want my template to look this way. I want it to completely different, okay? Um, so what I'll do, I mean, I want a customized version of it, okay? So what I'll do, I'll go to the code template, which is great, and I'll go to the related list, okay? And we have something called section, okay? Let's keep on adding the section first. So first thing what we'll do, I will say I wanted to add a header, and I'll say the content as a header, and I will say the display order first, okay? It should display first. I'm not going to bother with any of the options here. I will say new, um, line items. So what I'm trying to do that, you remember that, the template content, which I did. So I'm adding to the section side of the template so that I can render this information when you generate a code, right? Um, so we got the content. So right. Um, so the footer. Uh, so you're gonna say 3. Okay. So we've added the header. You have the line items and then the footer, right? Okay. So that's all we need to do, right? And then we go to the codes, right? And I select this code, generate document, because I do have some line items, so I'm not going to add any extra line items to it. Just one will do, just to demonstrate, right? I'll choose the template, the new template, and I'll see preview. You might find a bit different, right? You see, it changed, right? Let me do this, right? And you see a lot of stuff disappear, right? And you see I put the title sales agent, the signature Dave, and you see I've changed the color. I know that doesn't look very pretty here, um, but you know what I'll do? Let me go back and change the content. What I'll do, I'll change the line items to, instead of font size to 12, I'll just make it to 9, right? To see if that have any impact, right? I'll go to code again, and I'll do generate document. Select this, Preview. Okay. Yeah, now it looks a little bit better, right? I mean, it's not really truncating. Okay, let me go back again and uh, um, where is it? Template content, footer, line items. What I'll do, I'll just use 7.5. Yeah, come on, 7.5. Let me try to create it again. Preview it. I mean, so I'll choose this template. Preview. Yeah, it's taking so much time. Yeah, now it looks better, right? So you can see that it fits in the boxes. It looks all right to me, and I can do the similar stuff for the footer as well, right? So yeah, so that's uh, pretty much I wanted to uh, talk about in today's episode. In the future episode, we're going to talk about conditional, options in the template. So the thing's going to get exciting, right? So that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing Sunday. Adios.